to take accountability, whether it be a government shutdown that they are responsible for and can't negotiate themselves out of, or Donald Trump literally crashing the economy and still blaming Joe Biden somehow. But the one issue Donald Trump literally runs from most is his Jeffrey Epstein scandal, and he is doing it again as new evidence is coming forth that shows how terrified Donald Trump is of all that is coming out. We are going to get into it all, but before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button because it goes a long way in supporting our work. Now, of course, there are many things that Donald Trump is hiding from. It is not just this Epstein scandal, because it starts with the shutdown that he does not want to engage with, and I broke that all down, and the real reason why on CNN last night.
But what do you think it's going to take to get the job done? Are Democrats going to have to blink, or Republicans?
Well, it doesn't seem like much of a give and take right now. The only thing that Donald Trump seems willing to give is his Trump 2028 hat out to Chuck Schumer and, of course, Hakeem Jeffries, who it doesn't really seem if he knows who that is at this point. Trump, to me, is kind of this dementia-addled, like really nursing home patient in the White House right now. He's leaning on Vaught, he's leaning on Stephen Miller, because he doesn't want to get the job done. What Trump wants to do is take this as an opportunity, in my opinion, to go out and golf, to, I guess, maybe remodel some more parts of the White House. He just doesn't seem interested in negotiating. He's taking pleasure in what Russ Vaught said would be the traumatizing of federal workers. Like, that was their goal coming into this administration. And so it seems like that's all they want to do. And I don't know how that gets any Democrat who actually cares about people who are going to see their premiums double, triple, come to the table. And why would you? It's an administration that doesn't want to engage.
Donald Trump isn't even running things in the White House right now. The pudding is leaking out of his brain. He doesn't know what he's talking about or what he's doing. Stephen Miller, Russ Vaught, J.D. Vance, these are the people running the show. All Donald Trump wants to do is remodel the White House. That's what I said last night. And even though MAGA freaked out after I did, it's still true today. Donald Trump is only interested in the grift and, I guess, fixing up his golf courses and making the White House look more like Mar-a-Lago. That is it. And that's why you'd expect that maybe he'd be easy to track down. But not even Carolyn Levitt knows where he is.
Caroline, Hakeem Jeffries has said that President Trump is in the Presidential Witness Protection Program since the shutdown has begun. What's the White House's reaction to that?
That's just more ridiculous fodder from Hakeem Jeffries. As you all know, because you're here every day, the president is literally working around the clock right now. I think he has a swearing-in ceremony, or he already did. He has several meetings on the books today. He literally works 24/7. Anyone who works in this place or covers this place, as you all do, knows that to be true. And Hakeem Jeffries and the Senate Democrats should get back to work in a few minutes and vote to reopen the government. Emily.
So Donald Trump doesn't want to talk about the shutdown. Donald Trump doesn't want to talk about the economy unless he's blaming Joe Biden. Donald Trump doesn't want to talk to anyone. It was so bad last month that we thought he was dead, wished, for a period of time. And now the same thing is happening again. Hakeem Jeffries is right. Donald Trump is in the Presidential Witness Protection Program. He's hiding from the media. He's hiding from any conversation around the shutdown. And he's hiding from his Jeffrey Epstein scandal. The shutdown, of course, is another way for him to try to get the media to focus on something else while Donald Trump does what he always wanted to, and that's lay off and fire for no reason thousands, hundreds of thousands of federal workers who will call him on his bullshit and call him on his Epstein scandal, which is why Donald Trump had his loyalists remove some statues that were upsetting him. But now they're back. Statue of Trump and Epstein holding hands returns to the National Mall. A statue featuring Donald Trump alongside convicted offender Jeffrey Epstein has reappeared in front of the Capitol after it was removed last week. A statue depicting Donald Trump and the late financier and convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein reappeared Thursday on the National Mall amid the government shutdown. The bronze-colored figures, shown holding hands and each with one leg lifted in the air, were first installed last week but removed by U.S. Park Police on September 24th. The statue, titled Best Friends Forever, includes a plaque that reads, "In honor of the friendship this month, we celebrate the long-standing bond between Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein." A spokesperson for the Interior Department said the only people holding hands in D.C. right now are Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries after they shut down the government to push their radical agenda. The National Park Service and the White House did not respond to a request for comment. White House Deputy Press Secretary Abigail Jackson, in a statement later this week, dismissed the installation. Liberals are free to waste their money however they see fit, but it's not news that Epstein knew Donald Trump because Donald Trump kicked Epstein out of his club for being a creep. Democrats, the media, and the organization that's wasting their money on this statue knew about Epstein and his victim for years and did nothing to help them while Donald Trump was calling for transparency and is now delivering it with thousands of pages of documents. Yeah, thousands of pages of documents that we've all seen before. Throwing a bunch of slop at the wall isn't transparency, that's Donald Trump trying to hide. And the reason why it's news that these statues are back, and we're going to get into a bit more Epstein breaking news in just a second, is because Donald Trump had them illegally removed. The organization that put them up had a permit to let them stay for more days than the White House would allow, and of course they sent their goons out to literally break them, tear them up, and ship them off. And now they're back, as a reminder to Donald Trump that he can't escape his Epstein scandal, not only because we will continue to talk about it, but for some reason members of his own cabinet will as well. And we saw Jasmine Crockett discuss that. A bad move by Howard Lutnick that has everyone talking once again.
The news today by Donald Trump's own pick to be the country's commerce secretary, a man named Howard Lutnick. Howard is facing mounting calls to testify today before the House Oversight Committee in the Epstein investigation after he made these bombshell remarks.
Why is there now such a dearth of information when, Donald Trump's people are running the FBI and the DOJ?
I assume way back when they traded those videos in exchange for him getting that 18-month sentence, which allowed him to have visits and be out of jail. I mean, he's a serial sex offender. How could he get 18 months and be able to go to his office during the day and have visitors and stuff? It must have been a trade. So my assumption, I have no knowledge, but my assumption is there was a trade for the videos because there were people on those videos.
What? Quote, how did he get 18 months? He's a convicted sex offender. On that, I'm with Lutnick. Joining us now, Democratic Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett of Texas. She serves on the House Oversight Committee, which is investigating the Epstein case. Mara and Basil are still here. Congresswoman, you want to talk to Howard Lutnick, too?
Absolutely. Listen, I mean, he said, I don't know, but one thing is clear. He knew enough to know that he did not want to hang out with Jeffrey Epstein and that he was his neighbor. He talked about the fact that he was into some questionable things. So I'm sure he's seen people come and go, and he seems pretty confident that there were videos of this. So I would absolutely love to kind of dig in a little bit more and at least get a list of names to work from and start to kind of build backwards and do the work that Alex Acosta and that DOJ failed to do.
Well, he says in that interview that they, quote, shared a wall. I don't know what billionaires have for home alarms, but like a Ring camera would have probably picked up some images. I mean, do you want to see his surveillance footage if he has any?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if he still has it, for sure. We know that that was actually one of the things that Alex claimed was problematic for him, that they did not get the video footage that Epstein had as relates to that Florida case where he ended up getting the 18 months. So anyone, and you know, in fact, let me make a plea right now. If you have video footage of anything that was going on at the Epstein home, whether it's Florida or New York or anywhere else, please feel free to contact the House Democrats on oversight, and we will do everything that we can to make sure that the truth starts to come out.
You know what I thought listening to that interview? I listened to the whole thing, time I'll never get back, but he talks about taking his wife over to Epstein's house. He describes him as, quote, gross. And he describes a tour that Epstein gave him of his fancy house, which was, I think he said, quote, so wide. And they go from the living room, and he thinks that the double doors are opening into a dining room, because I guess that's what all the house's floor plan is. I don't know. And it's a room with a massage table in the middle. It seems to me that if one of your peers, instead of a dining room, has a room with a massage table, and don't you think they talk amongst themselves? And this is something I've picked up from all the victims. I mean, the victims have suffered because they were siloed in their shame and in their trauma. But the people who knew about Epstein, they were never shamed and isolated. They all hung out together. I mean, does Lutnick give you more names of people that hung out and maybe also went on the tour and saw the massage table?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I do think that he has names. I mean, the fact that he felt like that there was video footage, and he obviously felt like it was video footage of people that were important enough that he would end up with a sweetheart deal. I mean, your everyday Joe walking in and being caught on video doing something nefarious doesn't necessarily equate to something that I've never seen as a practicing lawyer. I mean, the amount of allegations that they had against him at that time, and then for him to get that little amount of time, in addition to, as he already laid out, he had privileges that afforded him an opportunity to continue to commit crimes, and everyone looked the other way. I mean, this was like the nightmare that would not end, and even now that Epstein is gone, it's still a nightmare, because you have people like the President of the United States saying, oh no, this is nothing more than a Democratic hoax, and consistently, really invalidating what these victims / survivors experienced.
Congresswoman, I wonder if it's enough to bring Acosta back, that Donald Trump's own Secretary of Commerce believes that I just want to get his quote right, that they traded those videos. How else could you get 18 months? He was a convicted sex offender.
Yeah, Alex Acosta, as far as I'm concerned, he probably walked as fine a line as he could, but I did not feel like he was completely truthful. Obviously, we did a transcribed interview. I would love to get him in a deposition setting instead, and I really want to dig in on a number of things that I was asking him about. He basically hid behind the fact that he was the U.S. attorney for that area. And so, as we know, anyone that sits that high is not necessarily into all of the specific details of any given case. But this was a high-profile case, so he was briefed on it. I want to talk to the other people that were on that team, the people that he said flew in from D.C. and sat down and had roundtable conversations about them. I want to see how many of his statements align with theirs. The only thing that we know is for sure there was a line prosecutor, someone who actually was looking at all the evidence and was doing everything that she could to make it clear that this is somebody that needed to be prosecuted. She had drafted a 53-page indictment, and they decided, nope, never mind, we're not going to go forward with that. Instead, we're going to kick this back down to the state, and we're just going to non-prosecute this case on the federal level. But we're not going to be open, honest, and transparent with the victims as the law requires, because what we're going to do is work around the law.
Donald Trump thinks he can get us to stop talking about the Epstein scandal, but he can't even get his own cabinet to stop talking about Jeffrey Epstein. And I promise you, we will continue to on this show every single day. And if you want to support that, even when we're out of the studio, as always, you can hit that subscribe button, leave a like on this video. If you stuck around to the end, drop a blue heart in the comments. And if you want to support the show in another way, you can become a free or paid member of my Substack, linked right here and down below. Keep on fighting. Don't let them silence you. And until next time, I will see you soon.